Yeah. Good to return. Part 2. Here we go. Once again, I'm just going to do this as quickly as I possibly can. Alright, so go through the e.m.m.i door, and something stirs. Something awakens. A big thing with an eye has come to destroy us all. And of course, there's also the e.m.m.i patrolling everything, but, you know, the big eye demon. Anyway, let's hop aboard. And again, be sure to check everything. Like, check if there's a new door that you can open. So... yes, okay. Yeah, like, I'm not gonna lie. I'm also, like... yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I also fall into the trap of just trying to, well, do everything as best as I can. I also fall into the trap of, you know, navigation. I fall into the trap of just trying to navigate as best as I can. Like, I get lost. Like, I get lost plenty of times too. But you know what? I find that's okay. Missile tank right there. Like, I certainly got lost on this part when I first played this because I didn't realize that you could shoot that thing. Do I think that me as a spoiled gamer should think that the good video game should give out hints to a location? Probably. Then again, developers can do whatever they like. So now you're seeing red heat all over this. When you see red heat around a door, that means you're going to be entering a hot area, and just like with cold areas, Samus in her current state can't survive in heat, in like extreme heat. So gonna have to find a way around that. That's one element in Metroid games that, you know, honestly I find really good, that I find really cool, is that, you know, that element of discovery, the ability of getting the thing about, you know, getting stronger as you progress. Like, that's really cool. And, you know, it was definitely the very first Metroid that pioneered the idea of using permanent upgrades to get stronger. You know, that's what the original game on the NES was all for. Just trying to find new ways of getting, you know, stronger. Anywho, if you see a room where the doors get locked, then Adam has some information for you.
There is no record of your assailant in the Federation database. However, there are records of the chosen warrior tribe. There is a strong possibility the two are connected. You have seen the warrior tribe's architecture and artifacts on this planet. I conclude that this was one of their settlements. But why would someone lead you here and send the e.m.m.i after you? The footage of the X-Parasite may have been staged to lure you in. The situation remains unclear, but your priority hasn't changed. You must return to the ship. You have activated the magma supply system that has restored power to the closed thermal doors. Seek them out to proceed. Continue to search for the unique energy you employed against the first e.m.m.i. It is the only way you can confront them. Unfortunately, this energy is limited. You may have noticed it dissipating after an e.m.m.i is destroyed. There are 6 remaining e.m.m.i hunting you. You have no means to confront them. Remember that.
Gee, Adam, thanks. I never really known that I can't stand a chance against an e.m.m.i. I would have never known. Thanks for telling me that, by the way. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you comforting me in this manner as a former CO that literally just stood there and just said, hey, Samus, do the thing. Man, Other M was something else. Even though I haven't really played Other M, I've seen Other M, like, a lot. So, yeah. I know of the good old-fashioned, you know, thing about Samus and the baby and blah 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 blah. And very thankfully, that character trait is now forever extinct. It's basically forever extinct now. Thank you, Metroid Dread, for retroactively making Samus badass again. Oh gee, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. Oh god. Where do I go from there? Well, actually, no, I'm supposed to go over there. What am I talking about? What do I mean? Okay. Slide in there, and there you go. The eye has awakened. So, with these, you shoot at them with missiles. Just keep on shooting them with missiles while also avoiding the mother flame-like rings, and then just shoot the ever-loving crap out of these things, out of this with regular stuff. And there you go. Hey, buddy. Hey, dude. I'm gonna steal your eye. Thanks, mate. Alright, so second verse, same as the first. Except this time, you activate the Omega Stream. You just simply hold L to activate the cannon, and then press Y to shoot a stream. From this point on, you're going to need the Omega Stream in order to get through the first phase of an e.m.m.i attack. And e.m.m.i are clearly marked on your map like so. So first things first, find a long stretch of hallway just like this. You need to heat up the shielding in order to expose the core. And this can take a while, so remember to fire the Omega Stream at a really long hallway like this. Once the core gets exposed, shoot the head, and you'll be able to destroy the enemy, the e.m.m.i, just like that. And gotta say though, the e.m.m.i are really cool. The e.m.m.i are like so cool. I love their designs. I like that they're just like leaving you with a sense of terror. Oh, I love it. And there it is. Our first ever Metroid-like tune. The Spider Magnet. This will allow Samus to attach to blue magnetic surface walls and ceilings. Tilt the left stick in the direction to grab for the stuff to grab onto. And of course, you can always review these upgrades at any time via the Samus menu. They also give you little tips and tricks on how to do certain things. So yeah, you basically got your basic wall climbing ability, just like so. And remember, always look for things that you can immediately do with your brand new upgrades. And of course, once an e.m.m.i is gone, then, you know, they're basically gone forever from the zone. So thank goodness for that. Get another missile tank right there. And yeah, out of the e.m.m.i zone, just like that. Is there something over here? Yes. So now with this, we created a shortcut over here. Let me just remove this. And yeah. All right, still on the right track. And when you get to a big thing like this, parry that door bug, and you'll be entered into the boss room. The boss room. Except not really, because I remember this now. the first of several deadly bosses, and I was right the first time, is here. Corpius. This guy, so basically all bosses can only be damaged by missiles or charge beam shots. So basically first things first, you have to shoot it in the head with missiles. It can be a little bit hard to aim with the head moving around so quickly. But once you get enough missiles in there, Corpius will camouflage. And now it'll be your job to shoot the tail. Regular shots or missiles will work. And don't forget to avoid the attacks, because those attacks can really hurt. Especially if you don't have enough energy tanks. Basically. This applies for all bosses too. Ew. Gross. Ew. Parry at the right time, and you'll be able to deal some extra damage. Be sure to use missiles, by the way, because those work the quickest. You can also use charge shots too, but regular shots too, so that's also very valid. When Corpius breathes that toxic breath, obviously, you have to cling onto this wall, which is the only way of dodging it. And remember to shoot the tail when it's camouflaged. Boy, okay, there we go. Period. And you'll be able to easily defeat Corpius within 2 cycles. At least I hope 2 cycles. Yep, 2 cycles. The Phantom Cloak ability is acquired. Upgrading suit for Aeon compatibility. So this is our first Aeon ability. An Aeon ability that renders Samus invisible to enemies by refracting light. She can also move silently, albeit at a slower speed. With full Aeon, press in on the R stick, on the right stick to activate, and press it again to deactivate. Aeon will be solely consumed while this ability is activated. Moving or firing weapons while activated will consume additional Aeon. Once all Aeon is depleted, the Phantom Cloak will consume energy instead. Should it deplete energy to 1, it will automatically deactivate. After deactivation, Aeon will begin to recharge automatically once Samus makes any actions. The ability cannot be activated again until the Aeon is full. So yeah, you have a way of sneaking up on enemies now. But more importantly than that, actually, more importantly is the fact that this can also help with e.m.m.i encounters from now on. So yeah, at this point, you basically essentially have a way of, well, camouflaging yourself, but you also have the ability to you also gain an additional tool against the e.m.m.i for survival. And once again, remember that if you get lost, find ways to do stuff. Find ways to do stuff with your newly acquired abilities. Because you never know. You never know, it could be a shortcut. And you also never know, it could be also something really, really cool. But yeah, you'll also find me like checking the map at like random intervals because like I also get like, even though I know this map pretty well and I just did a 100% run as practice, it also feels like I just barely know this game at all. Like all I know about this game is that people have been waiting for it for a while. Like apparently this was a canceled Metroid game. Like this was apparently a canceled Metroid game that they brought back from the dead. I don't know whether or not it was going to be like fully 3D, like like the Prime series was, or was it going to be like something else entirely? But it's here finally, and it couldn't have come at a much better time because the Switch is around to make Metroid Dread the best-selling Metroid game ever made, and it definitely deserved one of its Game of the Year nominations. Definitely deserved. But now we reach an elevator over to Carteris, or Cateris, or whatever. Cateris, Carteris, cardiac arrest. Yeah. And these should also give you a moment of breather if you're doing a speed run. Because one thing that I don't really like about Metroid Dread is the fact that the loading times are kind of long. Well, loading times in between areas, basically. In between regions. Like, sure, you're getting this cool little shot where Samus is just waiting around in an elevator. And I'm going to put funky elevator music on every time. Believe me, I'm going to do some funky craziness with that. But, like, it still doesn't change the fact that you're still going to be waiting a little bit. And I actually don't know if time is actually, if the clock is running while the stuff is going on. Again, like I said, this is not going to be one of my better runs because this is a Let's Play. I'm going to try to do my best to explain everything to you as much as I can. So, yeah. And by the way, don't take my advice and go through the fire because those are only for like trying to speed run as much as you possibly can. Like, you may have like 2 energy tanks at this point, but you know, you really shouldn't be playing through with fire, especially in real life.
Uploading data.
CBR appears to be powered by thermal energy. Magma is pumped from the planet's interior and routed from there. I have located the central routing system for the magma. It is here in Cateris. Samus, your current suit cannot protect you as you explore Cateris. The extreme heat of the lava is too much for it. Under no circumstances should you enter high-temperature areas. I know the shuttle somewhere above here. Use it to find a path forward. There is one other thing to discuss. It is your new Phantom Cloak ability. The Phantom Cloak prevents the e.m.m.i from detecting you. Thus far, your only option was to run. Now, bypassing them is also an option. Use this to reach your objective. Note that using the Phantom Cloak severely decreases your mobility, and direct contact with an e.m.m.i will still result in capture. It is up to you whether to hold your position. Just be aware of your surroundings. The Phantom Cloak is useless once an e.m.m.i sees you. You will need to evade capture until it gives up pursuit. The Phantom Cloak can remain active after your aim has been depleted. It will consume your life energy instead. Consider it a desperate measure. Remember, it cannot drain your energy down to nothing. Judicious use of this technique will improve your probability of survival.
You know what, guys? Apologize to Fi right now. Apologize. Apologize to her right now. Because, if there's one pet peeve I find about video games, it's the fact of video games or video game characters already explaining what the heck to do after the game already explains something to you. Like, Adam literally just said what the game already said. Like, the Phantom Cloak ability is used to avoid detection. Like Like, the new information that I've already given out can also be applied to the e.m.m.i as well. Yeah, I already explained that. That's basically the only new means of information. Like, yeah, you can use it to avoid e.m.m.i detection, but literally everything else that Adam said was just what we know already and what you can view in the Samus menu at any time. like does Adam exist to tell Samus what to do? Yes, he does, because that's what Metroid Other M was. That's basically what Other M was. Like, yeah, you can look up, yeah, Samus, you can look up to Adam as like some sort of like great commanding officer and everything, but he just did what other like officers do, man. Come on. You know what? But you know what? That's not really the issue here. The issue here is that the video game already explained what the heck to do with your new toy and whatever. And you know what? That's a pet peeve. That's a pet peeve of mine. So, blah. By the way, you can also shoot while you're hanging on to a spider magnet wall or something. So, that's all good. All right, so you think you can open that door, but nope, that leads to an area that you can't really go through yet. Or right here, even. Going in lava will also, like, really hurt your health, too, so be careful. But the reason why I'm even going into these rooms at all is to just simply map them out. Like, the important thing in Metroid games is to map out the area, and Metroid Dread shows you a bit of the area that you've entered. And it also shows you a little bit of another area of what to do things with. Like just simply entering a room causes it to map out an area. Like, it doesn't show out the room entirely, but it really, really helps out. It seriously helps. And yeah, even just showing this tutorial right here, like the cutscene clearly illustrates that, hey, you can avoid enemies by using the Phantom Cloak. I mean, of course, I already explained that, obviously. But it's also like kind of, it's also, the Adam explanation is kind of unneeded in that sort of sense. Where it's like the game just shows you through a cutscene without any dialogue, by the way, that, you know, Phantom Cloak causes you to become invisible to e.m.m.i detection. Obviously, you can't really avoid an enemy entirely, but you can avoid their detection while they're in surveillance mode. Anyway, that will do it for part 2. And I will see you in part 3. See you guys next time. Bye. I don't know why I turned up the volume right there. I'm a weirdo.